You're about to hear something most men never realize until it's too late. Not when she stops texting, not when she starts pulling away, but long before that. In the tiny, casual words she says when she thinks you're not paying attention. See, a woman rarely walks out overnight. She leaves in stages, first emotionally, then mentally, and finally physically. But if you listen closely, she tells you exactly when the respect starts to die. You just don't believe her. It happens in moments that feel harmless. You make a point and she laughs it off. You set a boundary and she calls you too sensitive. You express how you feel and suddenly you're the problem. These aren't random comments. These are the quiet assassins of your self-worth, disguised as jokes, sarcasm, or honesty. And if you ignore them, you won't even notice the shift happening inside you. You'll start apologizing for things you didn't do. You'll start chasing validation you used to command naturally. And one day you'll wake up next to a woman who no longer respects the man she once admired, because you taught her not to. Most men don't get blindsided in relationships. They get conditioned, slowly, repeatedly, subtly, until they forget who they were before they met her. So in this video, I'm going to expose the 5 phrases every man must never ignore. Because behind every "you're overreacting," every "you should be more like him," every "you're lucky to have me," is one brutal truth. She doesn't see you as the man she once desired. She sees you as the man she can control. And if you don't recognize these red flags early, you won't just lose her, you'll lose yourself. If you've ever felt that chilling moment when her eyes glaze over, when her smile doesn't quite reach, when her words carry a subtle venom that makes your gut clench, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not about grand gestures or screaming matches. It's in the quiet assassinations of your self-worth, delivered with a sweet smile or a dismissive laugh. Most men are completely blindsided because they're too busy trying to be the good guy to see they're being played. They're so desperate for her approval, they ignore the subtle cracks that eventually shatter their confidence, their boundaries, and ultimately, their relationship. This isn't about blaming women. This is about arming men with the brutal truth they need to protect themselves. Because while women are masters of subtle communication, men are often masters of subtle self-sabotage, especially when it comes to ignoring red flags. So lean in, because by the end of this video, you'll not only recognize the 5 most dangerous phrases a woman can use, you'll understand the psychological warfare behind them and how to disarm it before it disarms you. This knowledge isn't just power, it's self-preservation. It's the difference between a man who builds a legacy and a man who becomes a doormat. The first subtle assassin is, "You're too sensitive." This isn't just a phrase. It's a psychological weapon designed to invalidate your feelings and shut down any attempt you make to hold her accountable. When she says this, she's not genuinely concerned about your emotional state. She's redirecting blame, painting you as the irrational one so she can continue her behavior unchecked. Think about it. You express a legitimate concern. Maybe she was late again or she made a cutting remark. Instead of acknowledging it, she dismisses it with, "You're too sensitive." What happens? You instantly feel foolish, overreactive, and you start second-guessing your own perfectly valid emotions. This is how your boundaries erode. Every time you accept this dismissal, you teach her that your feelings don't matter, that her convenience or comfort is more important than your emotional well-being. This is how you lose respect for yourself, and how she loses respect for you. A woman who truly respects you will engage with your feelings even if she disagrees. She won't weaponize your emotions against you. If she consistently uses "you're too sensitive" to avoid responsibility, she's showing you she values control over connection. Walk away before you start believing her. Let's dissect this further. "You're too sensitive" is a classic gaslighting technique. It makes you doubt your own perception of reality. Imagine this scenario. You're out with her, and she flirts overtly with another man right in front of you. You feel a pang of discomfort, perhaps even anger, and you calmly express it to her later. Her response, "Oh my God, you're so sensitive." Can't a girl just be friendly? You're overreacting. Suddenly, your valid feelings of being disrespected are twisted into a flaw in your character. You're not allowed to feel what you feel. This is a subtle yet brutal attack on your emotional sovereignty. Why do women do this? Often it's a defense mechanism. By making you the problem, she avoids having to examine her own behavior or apologize. It's easier to label you as sensitive than to admit she was disrespectful, but for you, the man, the impact is devastating. Over time, you'll start to censor yourself. You'll bite your tongue, swallow your feelings, and internalize the idea that your reactions are always too much. This leads to emotional repression, resentment, and a slow death of intimacy. You become a shadow of your former self, a man who walks on eggshells, constantly afraid of triggering her disapproval. This is how men become passive, agreeable, and ultimately unattractive. A confident man knows his feelings are valid and demands that they be respected. He doesn't allow his reality to be dictated by another's convenience. If she can't handle your emotions, she can't handle you. The second corrosive comparison: you should be more like him. This isn't just an observation. It's a direct assault on your masculine identity and an open invitation to insecurity. When a woman starts comparing you to other men, be it her ex, a friend, or even a fictional character, she's telling you, in no uncertain terms, that you are not enough. This plants a poisonous seed of inadequacy that quickly chokes out your confidence. The psychology is simple. She wants to create a sense of competition, to make you feel like you need to earn her approval by changing who you are. And the moment you start trying to be more like him, you stop being the authentic man she was initially attracted to. You start chasing a moving target, an impossible ideal, and in doing so, you lose your unique edge, your natural magnetism. Imagine working hard, striving to be your best, and she casually drops, "My ex always knew how to make me laugh like that," or "James at work is so ambitious." It's not constructive criticism. It's a demeaning comparison that undermines your worth. A woman who truly loves and respects you will appreciate you for who you are and encourage your growth, not tear you down by highlighting your perceived deficiencies against other men. If she's constantly comparing you, she's not trying to improve you. She's preparing you for replacement. Your self-worth is not a negotiation. Let's delve deeper into this comparison game. This isn't about motivation. It's about manipulation. A woman who genuinely wants you to improve will inspire you, support you, and communicate her desires in a way that builds you up, not tears you down. But when she says you should be more like him, she's not inspiring you. She's subtly emasculating you. She's telling you that another man possesses qualities she desires more, and you are lacking. This isn't just a critique of your actions. It's a critique of your very essence. Consider the insidious long-term effects. You start to internalize these comparisons. You might unconsciously try to mimic the him she's referencing, losing touch with your own strengths and unique appeal. You become a chameleon, constantly shifting to meet an external standard rather than cultivating your own inner strength. This erodes your self-esteem, making you question your own value as a man. You might even start to resent her for putting you in this position. A healthy relationship is built on acceptance and celebration of individuality, not on a constant pursuit of someone else's ideal. If she's constantly holding other men up as the standard, she's not seeing you as her man. She's seeing you as a project, or worse, a placeholder. Your job isn't to compete for her attention with ghosts or real men. Your job is to be the best version of yourself, and if that's not enough for her, then she's not the woman for you. This comparison is a siren song leading you straight to a shipwreck of your confidence. The third insidious declaration: I don't need you. On the surface, this might sound like fierce independence, and independence in a woman is a great quality, but in the context of a relationship, when this phrase is weaponized, it's a cold, calculated power play designed to remind you that you are dispensable. She's not just saying she's capable. She's saying you are not essential. This is a subtle but potent threat to your value as a partner. Relationships are built on mutual need, on the idea that you enhance each other's lives, that you choose to be together because you both bring something unique and vital to the table. When she constantly pushes the "I don't need you" narrative, she's undermining that fundamental principle. She's telling you your efforts, your support, your very presence are secondary. Over time, this erodes your motivation to invest, to sacrifice, to show up for her. Why pour your energy into someone who makes it clear you're just an option? You'll start to notice it in her actions too. She'll make major decisions without consulting you, dismiss your contributions, and generally act as if your existence is irrelevant to her happiness. This isn't strength, it's a wall. It's a sign that the emotional connection is fraying and she's already checked out, mentally preparing you for her eventual departure. You deserve to be desired, to be needed, not just tolerated. Let's unpackage the layers of "I don't need you." True independence is about self-reliance and strength. It doesn't need to be declared, especially not as a weapon against a partner. When this phrase comes up repeatedly, it's a profound statement about her perception of the relationship's utility to her. She's stripping away your role, your purpose, and your emotional investment. In a healthy partnership, both individuals acknowledge their dependence on each other in various ways: emotional, practical, spiritual. It's the beauty of forming a unit. But when she constantly asserts she doesn't need you, she's rejecting that fundamental bond. Consider the masculine drive to provide, protect, and problem solve. When she says, "I don't need you," she's directly attacking these core masculine instincts. She's telling you that your efforts are redundant, your presence is optional, and your contributions are negligible. This can lead to a profound sense of emasculation. Why strive? Why build? Why commit? If your very presence is deemed unnecessary, this isn't about being weak or demanding constant validation. It's about the innate human desire to be valued and essential to the person you choose to share your life with. If she doesn't see your essential nature, she will eventually stop seeing you at all. This phrase is often a precursor to emotional detachment, where she's already begun the process of mentally separating from you, making it easier for her to eventually walk away without looking back. Don't let yourself become an invisible man in your own relationship. The fourth manipulative trap. If you loved me, you would. This phrase is emotional blackmail disguised as a plea for connection. It's a masterclass in guilt tripping, designed to force you into compliance by weaponizing your affection. When she says this, she's not expressing a genuine need. She's leveraging your emotions to get her way, painting you as uncaring or unloving if you don't immediately capitulate. Too many men fall for this. They think, "I don't want her to doubt my love, so I'll just do it." And before you know it, you're compromising your values, spending money you don't have, or violating your own boundaries, all to prove something that shouldn't need proving. The danger here is that every time you cave, you reinforce this manipulative behavior. She learns that all she has to do is question your love, and you'll jump. That's not love, that's control. Real love thrives on respect, open communication, and the understanding that boundaries are sacred. It's about choosing to do things for your partner out of genuine desire, not out of emotional coercion. If she's constantly using "if you loved me, you would," she's not interested in a partnership. She's interested in a puppet. Demand respect for your autonomy, or watch your love become a leash. Let's shine a brighter light on the insidious nature of "if you loved me, you would." This isn't communication, it's a power play. She's using your genuine affection as a bargaining chip, a tool to bypass your objections and manipulate your actions. The subtle pressure it exerts is immense. You, as a man who genuinely cares, want to prove your love. But she's creating a false dichotomy. Either you comply or you don't love her. This is a fundamentally dishonest way to interact in a relationship. Imagine she wants you to spend money you don't have on a luxury item, or abandon a commitment to your friends for her convenience, and she hits you with, "If you loved me, you would come with me. Buy this for me." If you resist, you're instantly cast as selfish, unloving, or uncaring. This puts you in an impossible position, forcing you to choose between your integrity and her emotional validation. This constant emotional arm-twisting drains your energy and chips away at your sense of self. You become a resentment-filled robot, performing actions out of obligation and guilt rather than genuine desire. This destroys the spontaneity, joy, and authenticity that true love requires. Your love is not a currency to be exchanged for her demands. It's a deep, genuine feeling that should be reciprocated and respected, not weaponized. The moment you recognize this tactic, you must stand firm. Your love is a gift, not a leash. The fifth and final threat to your value. You're lucky to have me. This isn't a compliment. It's a declaration of superiority, a subtle yet devastating reminder that she sees herself as the prize, and you as the fortunate recipient of her presence. At first it might sound playful, even teasing. But make no mistake, It implants a deeply damaging idea that you are inherently less valuable, and she is doing you a favor by being with you. This shifts the entire dynamic of the relationship, placing her on a self-built pedestal while you're left feeling like you constantly need to earn her approval. Instead of mutual appreciation, you end up chasing her validation, working harder and harder to prove your worth while she simply exists, expecting gratitude. Healthy relationships are about both partners valuing each other equally, recognizing the unique contributions each brings. When she constantly positions herself as the rare treasure, she's signaling that she doesn't see you as an equal partner, but rather as someone who should be eternally grateful. If you allow this mindset to take root, you will spend your entire relationship in a state of insecurity, perpetually trying to justify your place. A woman who truly respects you won't need to remind you that you're lucky. She'll make you feel cherished and valued, just as you should make her feel the same. Demand a partnership of equals or prepare to be perpetually undervalued. Let's peel back the layers of, "You're lucky to have me." This phrase, whether delivered with a smirk or a sweet tone, is a clear signal of an imbalanced power dynamic. She's framing the relationship as a gift she bestows upon you, rather than a mutual partnership. This mentality forces you into a constant state of seeking approval. You might find yourself going above and beyond, making excessive sacrifices, or tolerating unacceptable behavior, all because you've internalized the idea that you're lucky to have her, and thus, you must work harder to retain her. This erodes your self-respect and your sense of inherent worth. You start to believe that her presence in your life is a privilege, rather than a mutually beneficial exchange. This is not how healthy relationships function. Both partners should feel lucky to have each other, recognizing the unique value and joy the other brings. When she constantly reminds you of your supposed good fortune, she's not boosting your ego. She's establishing a hierarchy where she is superior and you are perpetually indebted. This can lead to a man who becomes overly accommodating, afraid to express needs or set boundaries for fear of losing this prize. You deserve to be with someone who sees you as an equally valuable partner, not someone who makes you feel like you won't find anyone better. Your worth is not determined by her condescension. A woman who genuinely loves and respects you will elevate you, not diminish you. She will make you feel chosen and cherished, not lucky. If she needs to explicitly state that you're lucky to have her, it's a red flag that her perception of your value is distorted, and you're likely in for a relationship where you're constantly chasing an approval you may never truly receive. Look, gentlemen, this isn't about waging war on women. It's about understanding the subtle dynamics of power and respect in relationships. Most men don't lose women because they weren't good enough or hot enough. They lose women because they ignored these insidious signs that her respect for them was eroding. And once respect is gone, love becomes a hollow shell. She can love you in a way, but she will never truly commit to or stay with a man she doesn't respect. If these 5 phrases are echoing in your current relationship, you're not in love. You're in a slow, agonizing breakup that just hasn't been announced yet. It's time to decide. Are you going to keep ignoring the whispers that kill your self-worth? Or are you going to stand firm and demand the respect you deserve? The choice is yours. If this video resonated with you, if it sparked a realization, or even a painful recognition, then you need to hit that subscribe button right now. In my next video, I'm going to pull back the curtain on the even more sinister side, the psychological tests women unknowingly or knowingly put men through to see if you're strong enough to lead. You think you haven't been tested? You're about to find out just how wrong you are. Don't miss it. And if you've heard any of these phrases or have a story to share, drop it in the comments below. Your experience could be the lifeline another man desperately needs. Let's build a community of strong, respected men.